Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flydict to Sim live stream. Today it's the 25th of May 2023, 3 minutes past 5 in the evening here in the United Kingdom. We're back in X-Plane 12. We're in the absolute latest version of the ZIBO mod 737, updated only 15 minutes prior to the stream. ZIBO found a bug in 6.12 or in 6.13, and we're just going to test and see where X-Plane 12 is right now with the latest version of Active Sky, the latest version of the ZIBO mod. ZIBO's put out something like 7 updates or 7 or 8 updates in the last week here. Primarily bug fixing, as I said in the video description, refining the auto-flight director system, the automation, the FMC, just further improving it, getting up to sort of where it was in X-Plane 11. We are in Turkey. We're departing from Antalya. We'll be flying to Jordan for the first ever time in a live stream to the capital Amman, where today they're having a VATSIM event. It's been such a long time since we've taken part in a VATSIM event today. They're celebrating Jordan today, their 77th year of independence, and there's full VATSIM ATC from 1700 Zulu. So in 55 minutes we should be arriving in there around 45 minutes into the event, so not probably super busy, but we should hopefully have full ATC as we fly into their capital Amman there. Live weather, we're 12 hours behind live time, 12 hours behind live time, because I want to enjoy the beautiful scenery that you have in south of Turkey, flying right near Cyprus today as well, as we could continue flying over there to Israel and Jordan as well. So I thought we'd just go 12 hours behind live time. Enjoy live weather though, as we always do today. Anyway, let's zoom on in towards the aircraft. Let's see who we have here in chat. Windows security, virus and threat protection. A summary, you have no issues. Perfect. Go away. Brendan McGreet says, Boga today, Captain. We'll see. Base Lake Bob, independence good. Excellent. It is many countries have independence now from many years ago. Jack Dangerfield says, good evening. I hope you're doing well. The scene's looking good. Yes, this is lovely. Ortho 4X speed downloaded. Zoom level 17 for the entire sector. The Flight Sim guy, good afternoon. Flight Sim from across the pond. I hope you're doing very well over in the United States, sir. Liam Barwick's here. Edo, Craig Foster, -8 Sim Pilot says, good day, everyone. Hope you're doing very well, sir. And we've got here, no alpacas, unfortunately. We've got a Ryanair and an Alpaca Airways, and it would appear, I've only noticed just at the start of the stream here, there's a slight issue with the ortho tile. It's either that or Antalya has a sinkhole in this part of the apron. You can see it's going down there. I should think it's the ortho tile, but I inspected the runways. They're all flat enough for departure, but the default scenery here we have installed, which always looks very nice in X-Plane 12. There we are, completely cold and dark, all ready to go for this sector. Rock that tunes basically Bob. So who said it? Who here said they preferred the original OG intro music? I haven't played that in 3 or 4 years. We always have the same one here, written by the members there. Matthew, got to collect the de-icing fluid somewhere. Brilliant. It's going to be pooling there. Just going to hose pipe in and suck it all up to de-ice the aircraft there. Chris Salton caught you right on time today. Thank you very much for tuning in, buddy. I hope you're well. John Boy, evening captain. What a pleasant way to spend an early eve. Indeed. Well, I had great fun yesterday with you guys flying the H145 High Performance Group Airbus helicopter, but back into something a little bit more faithful and a little bit more what I'm used to, basically. We haven't flown 7.3s for a while. Anyway, let's spawn it into the air bridge. Into the cockpit. You could argue I've done that before. There we go. Excellent. Oh, we've got approach online that's just come in for Turkey as well. So we hopefully might have ATC for the entire sector. We'll have to have a little look here later on, but we'll get the clearance from Antalya approach just prior to departure. Oh, I just completely forgot. I want to start the audio checklist. Now, I've had a few issues with this version of the audio checklist, which I don't think has been updated for X-Plane 11, but I want to show you something actually. Thank you very much to one of my members, Ramplan Pan. Love his name, by the way, if I just get some power onto the aircraft. If I turn on yoke cam... Oh no, hold on. I've not set yoke cam up. It's currently... let me just turn yoke cam on. I'll show you where it currently is. It's on top of my computer, staring at the wall. Let me just get yoke cam in place. I've not positioned it prior to the stream. That's what happens if you don't do your pre-stream checklists, ladies and gentlemen. You forget to do certain things. Let me just make sure that's set up in a decent position. Yes, that looks good there. Something like that. So you can see my OPT open in the background there as well. Let me just get yoke cam on again. Now, as you well know, I have the TCA yoke. Let me... Oh gosh, it's all in a bad position here. I could easily reveal my ugly mug here. Let me just get into a better position. There we go. I think that's okay. Have a look at this. This has been updated using a Lua fly with Lua file now. So these actually all work in X-Plane 12. So if I go to altitude, look, rotate this, look, and it's lovely and fluid. Look, if I rotate it, it goes at the same exact click speed as I rotate it. So that's for altitude. I've got heading. See the heading bugs all working, and for indicated airspeed. So it's working as it is in X-Plane 12. And look, you can move it really quickly. It sort of updates at the same speed. So it's really, really nice. I think I need to alter the 10 knots or 10 number 10 increments slightly, but it's all working well. If you'd like me to, if you'd like the link to that, leave a comment in the video afterwards, and I'll link the file for you. It's in a GitHub link as well, so you have Fly with Lua, very easy to understand. Yes, so Ryan Videos 94, do you have a link to this, please? Put that in the comments section after the video, and I promise you I'll get that links to you sent straight away, because I can't find I don't have the link open now on the page there. But there's a massive thanks to Ramplan Pan. You just need to download Fly with Lua and go from there. Kieran Harvey keeps coming up with my donation from last stream every time you open and close Yoga Cam. Yes, I think it triggers every time I change the scene in Streamlabs all of the different sources, so that's why you can see it popping up there. Thank you to everyone that donated yesterday as well. I thought it was very befitting, as I said in the end of the stream, that the donations would go to the Welshare ambulance, because we were flying the Welshare ambulance yesterday. So I think we said I rounded up to the nearest £10 to 30 quid from yesterday's donation. So thank you to everyone that donated in yesterday's stream. Peter, thanks for 30 months. Afternoon all, no pre-stream checklist, a members group flight with no test sector. Anyone would think the captain is distracted. Well, yes, my girlfriend gives me plenty of time to do these sort of things. She's busy working, so no distractions, but I do have a pre-stream checklist. I need to start going through it, but to be fair, afterwards, it doesn't have a thing on it to say put the yoke cam in position. I think the reason is the last couple of streams I haven't had it, or the 2 chopper streams there. Thank you very much, Peter. Thanks for the 30 months. A grand distraction you were. Right, as I said, battery's on now. And the ground power's on the bus, electric hydraulic pumps can come on, landing gear levers down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green lights, and then we check the ship's library and the aircraft documentation. Let's do the fault and fire tests. I'll just turn the music down ever so slightly. There's the squibs. Fault. We got fault AP detector in op, master caution overheat detector. Just to show you, look, we're in the absolute freshest version of the mod, 6.13a. I don't even think this is public at the moment. I think 6.12 is the latest version. As I said, it was only updated 15 minutes ago because ZIBO found a bit of a bug with the autopilot. So that's done. Fault. We got fault AP detector in op, master caution overheat detector. I've just done, haven't I? Fire test. There's the fire warning panel illuminated, engine overheat lights, the bell, and the wheel well fire warning, and light and caution sounds all on. Overheat detector 2, test the attend button, we'll arm that. Let's have a look at our operational flight plan. Here's our sector stakes. Now, is it a VATSIM event? I don't know how busy it's going to be. Let's take an extra 30 minutes of fuel. The weather en route is absolutely fine for departure and absolutely fine for arrival in Jordan. So if I was flying this sector for real, I'd take standard fuel, which is 6.4 tons. Let's put on 30 minutes. So let's go 7.75 on the fuel. So fuel 7.5, enter payload. We'll take 180 passengers today. Enter, and call for the fuel truck. Excellent. Kaniwala, welcome aboard as a member. Glad you're enjoying the content. You get invited to the members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom emoji chat. Thank you very much indeed for your support. Welcome on board. Lister said, pizza, huh? Tim. Tim's cooking pizza, excellent. Left in speeches there, Brendan. Yeah, I know. I had to compose myself there. Damn, Pete. Brilliant. Right, test the attend button. We'll check the takeoff config warning horn. So that's all working correctly. Look, my mum bought me for my birthday last month a polo t-shirt. I've gone for the 1970s bathroom colour look today. Oh, look at this, everyone. Shorts. I'm wearing shorts. Well, I could be absolutely naked there. You wouldn't know, but I am wearing a bit of shorts there. Shorts and beige. I look like I'm straight from the 1970s. Good job that you can't see me. Right, that's all done. 10 but we did. Takeoff config warning we did. Flaps are up, which match the indicated position. Stow that speed brake. Cargo fire test coming up next, which is here. Skin cam, huh? Raphael, this is not the quality content you tune into. C. Radio tuning panel is all good for now. Rotor layout trim is 3 and 0. Check the circuit breakers, which are not modelled, unfortunately. Stall warning test. Mac airspeed warning test. Flight recorders checked. IRS to nav. 7 minutes for the alignments. Circuit breakers are all in. There's Sleazy Easy, I'm joking of course. Check the tech log, aircraft maintenance status is all good. I did tell ZIBO about this. There's a master caution IRS that illuminates when you get the on DC. I've never seen it illuminate in the real aircraft during the startup, or maybe it does, and I've just never noticed it, but it's come up a few times now. You can see I've got this set to minus. Greg Scott, thank you very much for the 42 months as a member, coming on to almost 4 years. Too much brown and beige, you should blend, you would blend into a 70s couch, I know. I even tucked it in my polo shirt earlier just to see what I looked like, and I looked like my dad did when he was a kid. God bless his soul, but thank you very much for your membership at nonetheless, and for the banter. Thank you very much. Coyote says, I'm a real world 737 simulator pilot. If you need help starting up, call out. I'll bear that in mind, Coyote. Thank you very much for your comments. I always miss things, so especially when I'm single pilot here. So if you see anything I've missed, please let me know in chat. We'll be absolutely fine, I fear. We'll be good. Sorry I chose the EasyJet today over the 737. Unbelievable flight dispatch 320. What are you doing? Right, that's all done. Let's grab the ATIS. We've got 2 ATISes, one for departure and one for arrival. So let's tune up the departure ATIS, 136.125. Like Barcelona, they have 2 ATISes. And let's see if it is available on voice.
3000 scattered.
It is.
Temperature 22. Dew point 17. QNH 1011. End of departure ATIS information. Bravo.
So information Bravo, QNH 1011.
Aliyah Airport departure
Where?
ATIS information Bravo. 1550 Zulu. Departure runway 18 center.
Perfect.
Departure frequency 119.650. Wind 150 at 6. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. 3000 scattered. Temperature 22. Dew point 17. QNH 1011.
Perfect, so we've got the ATIS. Very nice day in Antalya, south of Turkey here. We've got the departure frequency as well, tuned 119650. It's 22 degrees. QNH is 1011, a few scattered clouds at 3,000 feet. So nice weather indeed. Let's get the clearance now, and we can then...
I would like to cancel your approach because of aircraft without flight plan now turn left heading 090 degrees. Climb and maintain 9.5.
I think we'll get the clearance later, so he's quite busy on the frequency. So 1011 is set. I have loaded up the OPT, but do bear with me, guys, because I forgot to upload that as a screenshot. The MFRA is 1177. 1177. Oh, ZIBO got rid of the clicking sounds for this. To be fair, it doesn't make any real noise. Any noise in the real aircraft, but that's now set, and lighting will turn up here. I mean, during the day you won't need to turn it up, but oh, actually, the lighting has improved in the sim. Yeah, we can turn that up anyway. Background light, yeah, you shouldn't see any light during the day. Perfect. Let's now load up the routing then. So here's the operational flight plan. FMC latest AIRAC is installed. We're in Antalya. Excuse my oh, sorry. Someone said I mispronounced pronunciation on my last stream, so I apologise for my pronunciation of Antalya in Turkey here. I really don't know how to say it properly. Lima Tango Alpha India. We'll take GPS left route. We're going to Amman, so Oscar Juliet Alpha India. I've never flown to Jordan before. I think there's some security precautions that need to be taken flying into Jordan as well for certain airlines, so I'm not sure what they are. I might have a little read of that on the way in. We'll tell you what we'd have to think about in real life. 25 Zulu Mike's the call sign, departure, 18 centre off the ATIS. It's going to be the, well, it should be the Tombi 1 Echo. Tombi 1 Echo. Next page after Tombi, it's direct to Aplon. And after Aplon, it's Lima 609 to Volvo. From Volvo it's direct to Rauner. And from Rauner it's the Rauner 2 Alpha. To ILS 26 right, and I think it was an all done transition. The actual arrival terminates at a VOR not near the arrival for 26, so you can just modify that slightly if I'll show you here. It happens a lot. You get a lot of stars that terminate. So for example, the star terminates at Quebec Alpha Alpha, which is a VOR to the east of Amman. Now that's where the star finishes, but we're going on to the ILS, which is here. So sometimes you just have to fiddle with it slightly to build something a little bit more realistic. So what I'm going to do is route from Alpha Mike November direct to Ordon, and then as we approach Alpha Mike November, if we haven't been given any directs, we'll contact ATC and just ask them to confirm the routing after Alpha Mike November. But I'm just going to put it like this. It just tidies it up, makes it a little bit more realistic as opposed to sort of the longer routing on the star than the ILS, which is probably not what we're going to get. So that's all done. We'll activate execute. That's all in. Performance, 0 fuel weight is 58.8 based off 180 passengers. Reserves for our alternate, which is Aquabar, I think it's pronounced Aquabar. It's the sum of these two here. It's 2.8 tons. It's quite a far way south. Cost index is 30. We're cruising at, is it 35 or 37? 35,000 feet today. Execute. Top of climb wind is 278 at 52. Top of climb ISA is 3 degrees. Execute. And OPT, let me just get the OPT filled in. I can't show you this unfortunately because it's not my operator one. I usually get a screenshot sent there, but it could pop up with notifications. So let me just put this in here. Takeoff weight, I need 66.3. You have to take my word off this, but the real OPT says we can take off from intersection Charlie 2 based off live weather with 22k assumed temperature of 36 degrees, and that's going to be 90.8, 91.8. By the time we get the bleeds on, 91.0 is within 0.1 what the real OPT says. Perfect. Take off flap 5, CG's in, speeds are set 141, 142, 146, and I can set that now with my new updated Fly with Lure plugin, so it's all working correctly. 146, thanks to Rumplan for that. Perfect, onto the overhead panel, and I'll catch up with any comments in chat. Your damper on, nav transfer display switch is normal auto. Fuel, 4 pumps on, no fuel in the centre tank. Haven't seen anything wrong with the mod so far. Fueling's done, window heat can come on. All looking good there. Voice recorders on. Pax auto. Isolation valve auto. We're cruising at 35,000 feet. The elevation of Amman. What is that? It is... oh, it's quite high. 2,400 feet. 2,400 feet. That's all done. Flight directors are on. I'll get the clearance for the sit-stop attitude later. The runway QDM, which is up here, is 182 degrees. It's an RNAV SID, so we'll just set everything to 182 for now. 182. Auto brake to RTO. Reset the fuel flow. Flight directors are coming on. Oh, I've literally just done it, Martin. You can see me do it as we do the setup still. Perfect. ZIBO updated. I know he's updated the motion for the trim, which I've just forgot to set. Look at this. The trim wheel, if you let go, it just has a little bit of inertia. Lovely, realistic trim wheel movement, and the speed's perfect now as well. This to map and RTO. We did do that. Legs for Jim, and the rest is all set up down here. Perfect. All good, ready to go. We've refueled as well, and we're due out in 8 minutes. Padpag says, hello from France, bonsoir, sir. Rusian, what does 22k mean? I understand derating and all that. I just want to know what the numbers mean. It's 22,000 pounds of thrust. Martin Kill says, never mind. Ah, yes, with regards to the flight directors. Excellent. I know ZIBO's watching this as well. Where and how do you get the MF4A? So the MF4A is generated from the Boeing OPT. It's a height to ensure sufficient performance and obstacle and terrain clearance in the event of an engine failure. It can be typically 1,000 feet, well, it is typically 1,000 feet above AGL, but that can vary, as I said, based off obstacles and terrain. Tim Waters commenting on my geography, unbelievable. HD simulation, people always ask me how the ZIBO mod compares to PMDG in terms of systems and flight model. Can you give your expert opinion, please? Thank you. Now, both of them are excellent aircraft. I prefer how the ZIBO mod handles from a sort of real-world aeroplane perspective compared to the PMDG 737. That sort of goes for a lot of aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think PMDG probably has slightly better system modelling with regards to all the systems, and certainly with the failure implementation, how those systems react is pretty realistic, but the ZIBO is a close second. Secondly, the PMDG FMC is a bit of a mixed match of newer versions of the FMC, older versions of the FMC. They just need to just update it to the latest version. Single engine handling was a bit... We did the engine failure comparison stream recently. I didn't do that too well. Aircraft, I just like how aircraft fly in X-Plane 12. The takeoff and landing, the most enjoyable bit, is the most realistic, considerably. But don't get me wrong, Microsoft Flight Simulator looks spectacular. Just watch the stream we did yesterday, and the PMDG still is very, very good. I think as an overall package, as a simulator, you're going to get far more enjoyment as a user from Microsoft Flight Simulator as you would for X-Plane 12. I think X-Plane's a little bit more sort of serious with regards to having the sim, but I love both. We'll be flying both for moving it forward. Hope that answers your question. ZSim pilots, they're sorting out rendering issues, clouds, other bugs. Yes, there's still, obviously, X-Plane 12 is quite new. It's been obviously released formally now, but there's still a lot of issues. My biggest bugbear is sort of this lighting. Like when you look at that, why can't they just keep the lighting like that all the time? You look outside and it gets... Can you at least have an option in the settings to disable your eyes adjusting to these colours? I just don't like it in a desktop simulator at all. Right, let's grab the clearance now, and then we'll brief the taxi and Sid. He looks like he's finished getting his clearance. I have not yet. So this default Antalya, it is very default. It doesn't have any stand markings here. So sort of looking at the charts, I'm going to have a bit of a guess about what stand I'm on, because the numbers didn't match in X-Plane 12 as well. I'm going to go with 115 Bravo. It's sort of the most... 90 degrees from the other one, and I'm sort of facing 90. We'll go with stand 115 Bravo and see what he says there. He might go, no, you're not on that stand. Right, have I got him tuned in? I do. Perfect. Oh no, I don't. I've got the wrong frequency.
Turkish 3 Echo Golf, Antalya approach, identified, climb, flight level 240, unrestricted, proceed direct, prepare.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
He doesn't sound Turkish.
240, unrestricted, direct.
Ed2, are we there yet? Unbelievable. Config, you can disable the eye adaptation if you don't mind fiddling with some config files. I do mind because I don't know what I'm doing. I might just tweak them, so hopefully they'll fix it. I just don't like it, because it makes the cockpit look so dark when you're looking in the sun. This looks... If it was just this lighting permanently, I'd be happy.
Golf, hello, Antalya approach. Information, Bravo is correct, clear to destination, Amman.
Look, it's one of the reasons I love this add-on. You can control the volume on VATSIM using the actual mic controls. And if I select that, and then deselect this...
Okay, all doors and
why?
closed, ready to connect.
See, look, it's exactly how the real aircraft works. So you select that, and even though the mic selector's off, as long as this is selected, this is always on. It works exactly as per the real aircraft. Maybe I should do a video on that, because I don't think any aircraft I've seen in the PMDG definitely doesn't do that. Does the ZIBO mod also model overheated windows? I don't think so. John Boy, you're in the domestic channel. Interesting. T7 driver cancelled. Captain, there's a plug-in to disable and control X-Plane 12's auto exposure. Ah, thank you, T7 driver. I'll have to find that, or just ask X-Plane to add it. Anyway, let me get the clearance now. Antalya approach, hello, it's Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, stand 115 Bravo, information Bravo, 1011, departure clearance to Amman, please.
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, hello, Antalya approach. Information, Bravo is correct, clear to destination, Amman, waiting, Tombi 1 Echo departure, runway 18 Santa. Initial climb altitude from 1000 feet, squawk 6401.
Cleared to Amman on the Tombi 1 Echo departure for runway 18 centre. Climb 11,000 feet, squawk 6401, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike.
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, back, correct.
Perfect, so we've got the clearance, climbing to 11,000 feet. Oh, I keep forgetting I can use my new rotary knob. Sometimes it does massive increments, but I know Ramplampon said you can change it. I'll have a look at those settings. So 11,000 feet, squawk 6401. And we've verified the SID in the FMC, which is the Tombi 1 Echo. Wonderful! Let's now brief the taxi and SID. So, well, let's bring up all the charts for you here. So there we are, south of Turkey in Antalya. We'll be flying over the eastern part of the Mediterranean to the west of Cyprus. And then it's southeast, flying overhead to Israel into Jordan, and there is the capital Amman and the international airport. They've got a city airport, and then they've got their main international airport to the south. We're on stand 115 Bravo, pushback facing north or south, most likely to be a Bravo departure. We've done the performance via Charlie 2 though, if required by ATC, and it's a Tombi 1 Echo. Transition altitude's 15,000 feet, so quite high here. We can verify that's in the FMC. Transition altitude 15,000 feet. And it's straight ahead to Alpha India 059, which is correct. Left turn to Alpha India 06. Hold on, let me just make sure I read the right. Oh, SID. It's after the Alpha India 059 to Derya, and then Derya to Tombi. That's all in. There's no mention of the stop altitude, but that's been confirmed with ATC. And when you check in with departure, which who we're already talking to, in reality, if we were to change frequency, you confirm your SID call sign, crossing altitude, and usually the cleared altitude as well. That's it, and I'll just stick in here the stop altitude again. That's just my operator's SOP, 11,000 feet. Perfect, I think we've copied everything. Let's now complete the before takeoff checklist, and then we'll get out of here.
Safety inspection
before
checklist.
Takeoff, before start.
Surfaces and chocks.
Checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electric hydraulic pumps.
On.
Landing gear lever.
Down.
Ship's library.
Checked.
Safety inspection checklist complete.
I saw that, Brandon. Liam, I'm just wondering, what's the yellow piping under the jetway that is in front of you, please? That is the external air, so the air conditioning. So air bridges all have them. Well, they usually always have them, not in airports like in the UK because they don't need it, but in places like Spain. So when the aircraft shut down, turn the APU off, they'll connect this to a... Oops, I just accidentally released the brake. They'll connect this under the aircraft. I can't... Oh, I have to show you in the cruise. There's an inlet under here, and it basically puts cool conditioned air straight into the mixed manifold. So you turn the packs off, puts the air straight into the mixed manifold, and you get lovely cool conditioned air in the cabin. Flying Walnut just finished a busy day at work in GP land, driving home listening to the stream. The best way to unwind. You drive carefully there, Flying Walnut. Thank you very much for tuning in. How did you write that? I hope you asked Siri or Alexa or Eddie, the well-known AI talkable bots, and not whilst driving. I think that's it there. Yes, Centre of Aviation. Yeah, unfortunately I can't post links. But people can comment a link. It's automatically hidden, but sometimes I show comments with links if they're useful to the community. So if you want to post the link as a comment, do it. It'll be hidden by default, but I'll happily show it if it's a useful link and something else. Right, let's now do the before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist to the line. IRS mode selectors.
Nav.
Gear pins.
Removed.
Light test.
Not again.
Yes, okay, I forgot to do this. Let me just do the oxygen test first, because that comes straight afterwards. Light test.
Checked.
Oxygen.
Tested
Imagine
100%.
we've checked it.
Yaw damper.
On.
Nav transfer and display switches.
Normal and auto.
Fuel.
So we've got 6,250 required, and we have on board 7.5 tons, and then 4 pumps
Fuel
on.
pumps.
4 pumps on.
Cabin util IFE galley power.
On.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Fasten belts.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Air conditioning.
PEX auto. Bleeds on.
Pressurization.
So, looking at the pressurization system, we've got the PAX auto, bleeds on, and the rest is all set.
Set.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Instruments.
Cross-checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Hydraulics.
Normal.
Speed brake.
Down D10.
Just about
Parking
normal. Pressure
brake.
should be a bit
Set.
higher.
Stab trim
It's
cutout
above the minimum though,
switches.
2,800.
Wheel well fire warning.
Not again.
I did this. Yeah, I'm having issues with this audio checklist, and I know if it doesn't trigger the wheel well fire warning,
Check.
you have problems with the rest
Radios,
of it.
radar
Like
and transponder.
The landing one doesn't work for me at the moment.
Set and stand by.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Takeoff briefing.
We've done that.
Discussed.
PA.
Complete.
Complete.
I'll do one today.
FMC CDU.
All good.
Set.
N1 and IAS bugs.
N1 and IIS auto. V-speed set.
Stab trim.
Set.
Performance, weight and balance.
That's all done. Signed, sent.
Checked.
EFB.
Airplane mode and stowed.
Phones.
Off.
Flight deck windows and cockpit door.
Ah, this.
That's to come, but I will close the doors now. Disconnect the GPU.
Closed.
Doors.
Not again.
It's coming, but it's correct. You wouldn't say closed if it were on.
Passengers.
Seated.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
Excellent. We're all ready to go below the line. Let's request push and start. Let me just get the taxi charts up here as well, so I know where I'm going. Excellent. I think someone just got their clearance there. Hakan, that's a long checklist, but all for safety. That's this checklist is loosely based off my operators, but that's how much has to be checked. Every sector that's checked.
Initial climb altitude 1,000 feet, squawk 6410.
It's very quiet. There's a lot of sinkholes at this airport. That's my awful tile. Look at that down there. Let's hopefully don't have to taxi over there. Didn't I should have checked this prior to the stream. Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike stand 115 Bravo request push and start.
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike pushback and startup approved face north, correction face south, KH 1011.
Push start approved to face south, QNH 1011 Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. Push and start approved to face south.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
QNH 1011, request push and start.
BZ8 Golf pushback and startup
So, I
approved
wanna-
face north.
Want to get out of that taxiway.
South, KH 1011.
Oh, it's to face
Face south.
north of me. I nearly faced the wrong way. Nothing to see here. Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. Just confirm the pushback direction for us. Was that north?
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike facing south.
Facing south, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. Yeah, okay, it was south. That's obviously going to block the EasyJet, but we shall do that. We could probably do north, you see, then we can exit via Bravo, you see. That's what my thinking was, but he is in charge. And we shall do
So
that.
connected and bypass pin and service. Release parking brake.
So packs off, anti-collision lights on. Parking brake will release in a second. We'll just complete the checks.
Before start checklist below the line. Air conditioning packs.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Alt off.
Before start checklist complete.
Let's go.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Oh, I keep forgetting to disconnect this every stream and explain it. Oh. Bye. That was my bad. He's pushing as well. He's going into the abyss, into the sinkhole. Well, I will be too as well in a second. Oh my goodness, look at the attitude already. Already up at 2.5 degrees. Right, starting engine number 2. Oh, it's gonna... tug's gonna ground out. Was it last time we had to get rid of the tug because it was a bit bugged? Oops, better be monitoring the engine start here. I think it accelerates a little bit too quick at the moment. No, hold on. Fuel in 25%. I'm a step ahead of myself there. I just want to monitor the engine start on engine number 1. Well, I didn't kill last time. No, you flew a helicopter last time. No, I meant last time with regards to flying the mod. Unless you're referring to something else. So starter cut out, monitoring engine number 2, 2463, 2 stable. So I'm going to time this next engine start because I think that was a little bit too quick. So starting engine number 1, timer, N2. Seems okay for now.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
It's working perfectly today. The pushback.
Disconnecting
Oil
tow.
pressure
Stand by.
N1. No, I take it back. I think it's pretty much spot on. It's usually started at around 45-50 seconds on the CFN. Adrian, I can't find 0.13, just 0.12 from Skymanic's link to drive. No, ZIBO updated this just before the stream because he found a bug, but we're on 6.13 alpha. It was a bug to do with the MCP. So no doubt he'll send that to, what's his, Skymatics afterwards. No, that's good. Started cut out. Maybe a tad quick, but nothing too far off what we're looking for. Right, monitoring engine number 1. 1 stable. Usually wait for the bypass pin before we do all this.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Flaps 5. I reckon we're going to roll backwards when we release the parking brake. Flight controls. Full forward, full back, left and right. Rudders, full right and full left. The bypass pin, and then we'll do the before taxi checklist. Perfect. Pin seen, before taxi checklist, please, Jim.
Before taxi
Andy.
checklist. Generators.
On.
Generators.
APU.
Off.
Start switches.
Continuous.
Probe heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Air conditioning.
PEX auto. Bleeds on.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Flaps.
Damn.
It's fine. 5. So 5 required, 5 selected. Green light. It's all
Flips
good.
5 required and selected. Green light.
Need to let
Stab trim.
Set.
Start
These
levers.
bounce can't even make
Idle
this.
detent.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Recall.
Checked.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Perfect. And Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike request taxi.
Alpaca 25 for Zulu Mike, taxi to link point Bravo 1, runway 18 centre via Bravo.
Taxi holding point Bravo 118 centre via Bravo, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. It's quite a simple taxi. First right, and then we're there. So releasing parking brake. We're going backwards. Whee! I think we'll just do that. Do a quick config check. No, nothing wrong there. This is the Ortho 4XP tile. Just a little bit. It needs a patch or something for this scenery. So we've got 38%, just about getting us to go forward. I forgot to turn lights on again. I do this every stream.
Pushback and starter being moved face south, can H1011.
There's Easy behind us. Beautiful.
Descend at flight level 170.
So there's the whole point for 18 centre. Let's do the before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist to the line.
Loud, Andy.
Config.
Checked.
Flaps.
Flaps 5 set, green light.
Stab trim.
Set.
Takeoff briefing.
So, Pax Auto bleeds on, V-speed set for departure, 41, 42, 46 on the MCP. Departure is 18 centre, Tomby 1 Echo, RNAV to Alpha India 059, climb to 11,000, NADP2, so we'll accelerate at 1,200 feet. Any problems will climb straight ahead to the south over the sea. Reviewed.
Reviewed.
Cabin.
Secured.
Before takeoff checklist completed
Line
to
of
the line.
weights 18 centre, out back at 25 Zulu Mike. Already lining up, so let's do the flow. I'll just turn the music off. There we are. Well, that was a quick taxi. Is the weather radar still guffy? I think it is. So, that and that. Play the
Before
line,
takeoff
please.
checklist below the line. MCP.
Set.
Transponder.
TARA.
Strobe lights.
On.
Landing lights.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Perfect. Bendick, our config checks being done in real life as well by adding full thrust for a split second. Absolutely, yeah. So just like this, put yoke cam on. We do this. Make sure the takeoff config warning horn doesn't sound, and it will never spool up by more than a couple of percent. Works well in the mods, and again, I'm not bashing the PMDG. You do that though, you're at 100% N1. They need to improve the spool up time, because the spool up time from ground idle 20% to 40% is about, in the real aircraft, 6 seconds. It's very slow spool up time, so no risk of doing it. And that is how you do the config check at a 737. It's pretty old school, but it works, and it's how it's done. And you just got to make sure no config warning horn sounds. Right, so all ready to go. Just waiting for our takeoff clearance. Mod's behaving beautifully. We're going to do a bit of hand flying on departure, see what's what. Flight director, see what it's doing. Make some notes for ZIBO. Area 18 centre, cleared, takeoff out back at 25 Zulu Mike. Okay, port airborne, that's usually what they do in IMC, or they can't see you, but fair enough. And lights are on, checks complete, so we are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Toga's in chat, start the timer, 40% M1. A little bit more, just get that 40%, everything stabilised, no spikes in EGT. Toga, set takeoff thrust. Now, light forward pressure on the control column, takeoff thrust set to indications normal. Check, release forward pressure. Lovely on takeoff, just small bits of rudder, the movement's spot on. No jerkiness, just nice and smooth.
V1, rotate.
A little bit of a bounce there, but we're rotating. There's the dead band, pull back through that, and we're airborne.
Positive rate.
Beautiful, really nice. Positive rate, arm gears up. And he's definitely tweaked the flight directors. Spot on.
400.
LNAV. Bye bye, Antalya. Just the way the aircraft looks, handles,
1,000.
superb. So 1,000 feet, I can buck up. Ooh, don't want to buck up that much. Wah! So flight director's going to lower to around 8 to 10 degrees. We're above V2 plus 15, which is the wide bug, select flap 1. It is 10 out of 10 so far. Looks like Active Sky have gotten rid of that weird increase and decrease in speed, which I suffered from on my last Explain 12 stream. Flaps up. So flight director's going to pitch up now to maintain the up speeds. It's perfect so far. ZIBO's been plucking away with 7 updates last week to fix bugs and reported issues, but I can't see anything wrong with this departure so far. Perfect. So, flaps up, no lights. We're climbing to an altitude, so we don't set standard. VNAV, we're going to accelerate to 250 knots. VNAV speed. Ooh, is that a bit of active sky turbulence coming in here? Possibly. Oh, look at the speed fluctuating. Just doing, it did that last time. Looks like we're flying in the clouds. Seems to be sort of rolling a little bit left and right, and I think that's active sky. So to accelerate, my goodness me, the flight directors are really sensitive. I think this is an active sky thing. Yeah, I did this one. I've updated it to release candidate. Is it 4 now? Anyway, there's 250. Aircraft's going to pitch up now. Yeah, handling nicely. I'm just, yeah, roll rate's good. Sorry, yeah, we're airborne. I thought you could see us from the tower back at 250.
No problem. Flying, but flying. 40 unrestricted.
Sorry, just came in broken. Confirm cleared level, please. Alpaca 250, Mike.
Cleared level 40 unrestricted.
Climb for level 240, Alpaca 250, Mike. The radio is coming in a bit broken there. Anyway, it's handling nicely. Command 8. The rotation was really nice with the rotation rate as well. Climbing to 240 and set standard. Passing 6 flight level 240 after takeoff checklist. So gears off, auto brakes off, star switches can come off, taxi light off, air conditioning and pressurization 2.5, climbing and set. And release the passengers. There we are. Checks complete. Yeah, I'm really impressed. The departure went superbly well. Really, really nice. Aircraft handling was great. I just want to see where Active Sky is with their updates, because since I've had Active Sky the last few updates, I've just sort of had this jerkiness of turbulence, and the flight director is overreacting, I think, slightly to it. The speed's changing, even though it's pretty much calm conditions. Is anyone experiencing the same issue with Active Sky? So I might go back to default X-Plane 12 until they've sort of revised it slightly. But yeah, the mod's behaving so well. Perfect, passing flight level 100 of 240, pre-cruise checks, still on this RNAV SID, so fuel, 4 pumps, lights coming off, APU's off, pressurization 3.5, set, nice and smooth. Oh, slight security issue, but oh, I did not. Oh, I forgot to start the flight leg. That's why. Checks complete. Yeah, Paul Emerson, you're suffering the same with Active Sky. Yeah, it was great when I tried the beta. Now it's been released, and they've got this release candidate versions of having this sort of jerky behaviour. I had it in the group flight, and I'm having it today. So I might just, I was actually default X-Plane 12 weather is a lot better than default X-Plane 11 weather, so I might just revert to it. Oops, noob error. I forgot to push out a event for the cleared level. There we are.
Standby brake, Alpaca 5250 make contact anchor sounds on 124.075. Bye bye.
124075. Thank you very much to the ATC Alpaca 250. Bye bye. Perfect. Yeah, I think active. Yeah, for GA said KFC Turbo. Forget about it. Yes. Do you miss the pyramid clouds that much? Oh, is actually are these clouds actually active sky though? It's definitely a bit jerky. And I've got no winds now, which is why it's nice and smooth. Yeah. Yeah. So Rose Ring's quite correct. We'll actually go through what ZIBO's improved, but there's a new autopilot code which has smoothed things out a lot, which is good. Yeah, I'm very impressed so far. So far, so good. We'll have a little play with some of the modes in a bit. Who am I talking to again? It's... I can't remember the centre. I'll just call it centre. Centre, good evening. Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. We're climbing flight level 240 inbound Tombi. Ankara. Climb flight level 350 Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. I keep forgetting about my new MCP update, but that's set. 350 is the cruise level. Once, twice, check the cruise page, 3 times for the cruise, and we're monitoring 1 to 1.5 on box 2. There we go. Is the autopilot version update for the version you're on right now, or the previous ZIBO release? So the latest public version has those updates. This is just a slight patch because ZIBO said there were some bugs with the speed intervent button not working and being unable to update the cruise level, I think, in the FMC, so that was just to fix that. No doubt that'll be out very soon. Martin, Scov, I don't know if you're rejoining as a member, because you've been a member for a number of months for that, Epaulet. Thank you very much anyway, hope you're doing well, and I hope to see you in the members only Discord and join custom emojis and chat. All the great perks as a member. Rezek says, hey Caps, any chance you could use the new beta update for the 7478 Microsoft Flight Simulator at some point? I think for Microsoft Flight Sim Beta, don't I have to completely uninstall the latest release of Microsoft Flight Simulator, install the beta? I don't have time for that, and then to reload and update everything. I think my friend 7378G Driver might have about 50 videos on it already, so I'd recommend watching those if you've got the time. I don't have the time for that. But when it is released on the latest update, we shall fly it on a fun stream. But yeah, I think beta Microsoft Flight Sim does require a significant amount of you know, time and effort to uninstall and reinstall. Because I did look into it, I did, oh, how do I get it? And it didn't do the beta, and it's like risky this, risky that, and I was like, I don't have the time to sit down and fiddle with settings at the moment. I'm very, very busy. Back to work on Saturday, but I do have a couple of standbys, but my girlfriend is off next week, off work, so we're going quite a bit in our spare time, but I will, she gives me all the time in the world for this, which I'm very grateful for, so hopefully we'll get a couple of streams out as well. I mean, there's two streams in a row! Can't believe it. Anyway, let's have a little play with the mod, see if things are behaving correctly. So what we want to do is just open the speed window, let's accelerate to 320 knots, just see what the aircraft does. We should lower the nose gently. Yeah, I think ZIBO's definitely tweaked this to make it a lot smoother. 122.8, thanks for the ATC Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike Sakura. Yeah, so that's good. That's perfect. Aircraft, when it's accelerating, doesn't quite level off. It'll just do a nice sort of, you know, 200 or 300 feet per minute rate of climb, enough to sort of get rid of the IVSI indicated altitude, and when it comes back on here, this is improved significantly. I will be renaming this video title, I think, into excellent updates. Look at the autopilot behaviour. Really nice. We'll do the same now, so we're going to open the speed window, keep it open. Now, no, let's go back to the commanded speed, that's good. Now we're going to go back to sort of 270. Let's see if it pitches up here. So it shouldn't do anything too stupid. Maybe 5,000 feet per minute. Yeah, much better, guys. So if you were to slow down, obviously the aircraft's going to be, it takes into account G-loading, and it's nice and smooth in the real aircraft, so it'll pitch up like this to get back to its bug speed. Its behaviour is very much mirroring the real aircraft. Nice to see. That's very kind to offer a donation in state there. I have no idea about the PayPal side of things. I don't think it accepts credit card and debit card, but you don't need to donate. Just enjoy the show. Thank you very much, though, for your kind gesture. Helmax, hi Captain. Is there a reason you use the mod more than the PMDG on Microsoft Flight Simulator at the moment? I sort of have a soft spot for the mod. I've been involved providing feedback for ZIBO for the best part of 4 or 5 years, and you could argue that I'm perhaps biased towards the mod for that, but I always give a genuine, impartial and fair comparison. I've done a number of comparison streams between the two aircraft, and I've always sort of described what I like about the two different aircraft as well. There's just something about the mod, just I've sat in a 737 for almost 6,000 hours of my flying career, and jumping into the mod feels like I'm flying the 737 more than the PMDG. It's not 1,000 times better, it's not 1,000,000 times better, they're very similar, and the mod in X-Plane it just feels more realistic to me, as do other aircraft in the sim. Now, as I said, don't get me wrong, the visuals you get in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Microsoft Flight Simulator isn't exactly a field length away from what the real aircraft is. It's very close, but it's just something about this sim I really like, and it's the same sort of... when I tried to explain for the first time, bear in mind I grew up using FSX. When I started this channel, all my videos are based off the FSX PMDG. I tried to explain, I was absolutely blown away. I was just like, this is so much better with regards to aircraft handling. I was like, yeah, let's try that. So yeah, that's the reason, and I do have a soft spot for the mod. But anyway, certainly behaviour in pitch, guys, has improved significantly. I've seen it in X-Plane 12, how it sort of jumps and gives aggressive pitches and rates of climb. We'll try vertical speed now. We'll set the maximum, which is 6,000. Now that's a little bit aggressive. It's a little bit aggressive here. Usually if to set 6,000 it wouldn't jump up like that. I'd say that's 3 times too quick to get there to 6,000 feet. It's like glued onto it. And in this mode the aircraft will eventually revert to level change when you get too slow, because it's like a cat and a donkey in vertical speed. The aircraft will just do it. It doesn't care about this. If I now set sort of just 150, now this rate of change is fine. The G would be pulling there would be uncomfortable. Yeah, that's way too fast. So certainly the behaviour in vertical speed needs to be like the behaviour changing in VNAV or level change that we saw earlier. Vertical speed is a little bit too aggressive there, the change or the rate of change of vertical speed. So that's the first thing I've noticed here. VS, I'm making notes for ZIBO, I know he's watching parts of this stream, but VS rate of change too fast. That's about 3 times too fast, it just needs to be reverted slightly. Yeah, this is the you got it. Stranded cost 6,000 hours in 250 days. That's impressive. Oh no, it is 250. Oh, dear me. Yes, it is 250 days. You didn't remind me. That's a long time sat in a 737. A long time. I misread that there. Sorry about that. 0321 short. I have a lot of payware add-on planes in X-Plane, but to keep going back to ZIBO and makes most of my flights fit. It's just so immersive. Yes. And some people talk about the sounds. The sounds aren't quite, you know, the exact sounds, but it just sounds right. Especially when the engines spool up when you set takeoff power. That sort of whine you get from the CFM is great. Oh, and X-Plane does this. This is one of the best bits. We love that here on this channel. Yeah, but it's great fun. Great for both sims. Talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator, I do want to jump into the 146 again now that's been updated. Mason, how many hours do you have on the Max? Good question. A lot. Nah, well, I say a lot. I've only been flying it for the last 6 months, but I'm flying it more than the NG now. Last week I only flew the Max. I'll have a look at my logbook. Let's have a look. So, flight search by aircraft type, model. .737 Max. I have done exactly 50 flights in the Max. So 25 days, well some of them I've done some 4 sector days, but mostly 2 sector. Total time 133 hours, 16 different airports. I've carried 8,361 passengers on the Max. I've burnt 418 it's going to be 418 tons of fuel, 418,000 kilos of fuel on the Max. Sorry, no, carried 418 tons. I've burnt 262 tons. There you go. It's all sorts of interesting facts. There you go, I can show you very quickly. There's nothing there giving anything away, is there? Unless I get a notification quickly. There you go, that's off my logbook. I'll just do that in case I get a notification. Oh, such a youngster, I know. Oh, Stratocast, now how many hours have you spent in your car commuting? No, not only that. I mean, when I became a captain, I was out of baseline for 9 months, or just under a year, so I had to catch Flybe flights, you know, no longer in existence. Yeah, I don't want to know. And don't forget, that's also time, that's block time. That's from pushback to on stand. Doesn't include turnarounds, it doesn't include duty time at all. That's going to be also in the thousands amount of hours. Steve, have 10,500 cups of tea and 3 tons of sandwiches. Brilliant. Hi Dal, love watching the videos, thank you very much buddy. Recently watched your HEMS video as a Welsh ambulance pilot based in Cardiff. It was very enjoyable. Awesome Del Brewer, so much fun yesterday. Wow. And how is the H145, the hype performance group's helicopter? I don't know if you've tried it and flown it yourself, but wow, it's amazing Del. Thank you very much for popping in yesterday. We had awesome fun. Don't look at my helicopter flying, whatever you do in detail on that stream. I think I did an okay job. Right, well on the way. There's Navigraph. We should have Cyprus coming up on our left-hand side shortly. Flight time is around 1 hour and 10 minutes today. Just the one sector, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, this evening. As I said, this is a VATSIM event. Let's see how many people are flying into Jordan. I don't think it'll be a massively busy one. Let's have a look here on the VATS scope. Oh, there's a number of people flying in that direction. Oh, only 12. Very quiet event. I was hoping for a few more. Oh, you know, because it's not a destination that usually has a VATSIM event. And I saw it yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh, that would be a nice place to fly into. One of the members wanted me to fly the mod again, so I was like, oh, let's do that then. It's very realistic. I spend more time flying the hype than the real thing. Brilliant. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and you know, you pay top dollar for it, but you get a lot out of that add-on. Maybe I should fly their hot air balloon. They have a hot air balloon, don't they? There is Cyprus. Remember, we're 12 hours behind lifetime, so the sun will be setting now if we had lifetime on. But live weather, always use live weather on the stream. So as much as I'd like to show you my operator's airfield briefing pack for Jordan, I can't show you because it's not my stuff, and it's one of the agreements I have with my operator. But I can read it. So we can talk about some of the threats and things we need to talk about flying into Amman as well. I'd love to share it, but unfortunately I can't. Sunset is looking amazing in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, the graphics in that sim are incredible. Like when we were flying the high performance group helicopter yesterday, the scenery in Wales was absolutely stunning. It was the perfect place to do the missions. Really glad we chose to do it there. There we are in the cruise. We'll do a fuel check at Aplon. Max continuous. This is something we do at my operator now, just to ensure we have sufficient N1 in the event of a low speed situation. And we're all good up here. Check the pressurization. Passengers are released. Wunderbar. I saw that list of in. It's alright, I saw it. There's nothing wrong with that. Brilliant. Top of descent should be in 30 minutes. Start setting it for the approach in 10 minutes, and we'll look at Jordan arrival. Oh, that's two. I turned down the wrong one, didn't I? There we go. Nice over the med to this part of the world. Repus, love the Alpaca Airways livery. This is the sort of OG Alpaca Airways livery. Well, I say the original one actually. Did say flight deck sim on it, and it had a little alpaca on the tail. But this was sort of the main livery, which all of them based on. Jamblin designed this. I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, but they're all based off this livery here. If you'd like to download any of the Alpaca Airways liveries, use the command liveries in chat and you'll be able to get it. Bradley, hi Captain, would you consider streaming a flight into where? Melilla now? I don't know where that is, Bradley. It's now a Code 3C airport. It's at Category C, like Madeira sort of style. Sure, I've never heard of it. Whereabouts is that? Yeah, X-Plane's really smooth at the moment. I said that whilst I did a little, a little hiccup. It is running quite smooth for me. There we go, hotel foyer music on for you. There we go, we've just got Cyprus coming into view on the left-hand side. Look at that. North of Africa belongs to Spain. I'll have a look into it, Adrian. Spanish enclave in Morocco. And that's a Category C airfield. Well, yeah, we've definitely not flown into that, so I'll look into it. Gemel. Yes, I reckon next stream we'll look at the 146. It is my last day tomorrow, but I am busy tomorrow and getting ready for work. So we're going to look at the airfield briefing for the airport. So, things we need to think about flying into Amman. Expect early descent by the Israel FIR. Threats and cautions. Due to scrambling of GPS signals, you might receive GPS invalid messages flying into Jordan with loss of GPS position. Also, additionally, AC fail, light terrain fail and VSD flags might appear. Oh, interesting. So that's got to be something to do with radar hacking or some military activity perhaps. Caution, laser attacks observed when landing on the easterly runways. Apron information. So a lot of stuff here is actually to do with restrictions over this airspace. The airspace is quite, you know, the area of land around here is quite hotly contested, isn't it? So flying into Tel Aviv, you've got to tune in, fly a very specific routing, and exit points as well. There's lots of security requirements as well. So I won't go into detail about that, but essentially. Crew operating into the airport have to have a valid passport, I think, at least 6 or 12 months. Security procedures, so yeah, overriding flight considerations. Yeah, so it's actually quite a straightforward airport. Most of the threats associated with security issues, and the rest is quite straightforward. Talk about early descent, as I said. So it's a large international airport. It's got 2 long runways, ILS both sides, I think. Oh, hello, Petrich. Greetings from Gate 40 Airbridge in Stansted. Hope you have a safe flight, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Basically, I've quoted off Wikipedia, since there's no agreement with Morocco, planes must perform difficult manoeuvres during takeoff and landing to avoid entering airspace from Morocco. Lovely. That's just something that's not required. It wouldn't need to be required, but obviously politics makes it required. 7.3 looks sleeker. Yeah, I think this 7.3 looks far better than the A320. It does look nicer. Dead mode. I've seen that it's possible to use intercept radials for VORs in the FMC, but can you do the same for normal GPS waypoints? Can that be used to extend runway centerline tracks? It can be dead mode. I'll show you how to do it. So, for example, let's say we wanted to fly on this. Oh, look at this. This is lib radio working as we're going out of range of the VOR. I think that's installed in the mod now. What you do, you bring the waypoint to the top you want to extend it from, let's say Ledra, and then you should have a button saying, a prompt here saying intercept course. So you just say what course you want to intercept the inbound one. So let's say we want to fly inbound on the 130. There we are. So you can see, look, it's just extended a line from here. If I was to put, let's say, 160, you know, whatever inbound you want, you can see it just alters the line. So you just do that, and you do the same with the extended center line. You just take the center fix, or the FI point, a waypoint on the extended center line, do exactly the same, bring it to line select key 1 left on page 1, and then put the final approach track bottom 6R, and you're all good to go. Yankee Fox, thanks for the 14 months, buddy. First PPL lesson tomorrow morning. Entirely your fault, Captain. Expect the bill. Hope you're well. Oh, sorry. I am sorry for making you go get your private pilot's license. That's very exciting, Yankee Fox. Please keep us all posted and updated in Discord. We've had a member just recently pass his PPL, Sam. Believe it or not, we have how many? Probably is my members' Discord now. There's too many real world pilots. People ask a question, and before I get a chance to answer it, they've had 3 real world 737 pilots answer. 787 first officer, and I'm like, oh, I'll just retreat, go back into my man cave. Brilliant. Cheers, Yankee Fox. So best of luck with the PPL. Hope you pass it soon, and we look forward to hearing about your adventure. You're welcome, Dead Mode. Hope that's useful to you. Right, let's start setting up for the approach into Amman. I know we've got quite a distance to go, 175 miles, and we'll start by going to the descent page, 250 below 10,000 feet. I guess the transition level's a little higher in Jordan. Yes, 150, I believe. And we'll put the forecast winds in, which are here, 310, 200 and 100, 274.50, 270 at 30, and 257 at 24. Excellent. The QNH we're expecting in Amman. Let me just refresh the area weather app. Oh, it's a bit hazy. 5,000 meters haze. 22 degrees. QNH is 1013. Thank you very much to N2, member of 30 months here in the US. It can take up to 6 to 10 weeks to renew a passport, and they take your current one. Same in the UK. How you handle the flying internationally? Yes. So, what is the lead time for a new passport application? You can pay N2 for a speedy passport application, where I think they can do it sort of within definitely within a week, but you have to pay a premium for that. But I honestly don't know. I renewed my passport about 3 or 4 years ago, and it wasn't that long. I think it was 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I know they had a bit of a backlog due to Brexit, and I don't know where they're at now, but 6 to 10 weeks seems a long time at least. But yeah, we have to make sure we're valid. The airline I work for, as would most airlines, have a record of your passport expiry, so they'll notify you with plenty of time. I think it's usually at least 12 months prior. Some countries you enter require 6 months validity on your passport, so you get sufficient time. Thank you anyway for your continued support as a member, my friend. Right, they're all in. QNH is 1013. We can expect to land on the easterly runway in Amman, and they have the westerly facing runway, because the wind's coming in from the west. Surface winds 280 at 10. So we've got 26 right, 26 left. I'm going to plan for 26 right initially. I've never flown to this airport before. So 26 right. We'll get the charts out for that. Look at the star as well. So this is the star we're flying in via Rauner. Transition level we will confirm via ATC, but it is 150 on the chart. Follow descent clearance instructions, but do not descend below minimum safety profiles. If you can't comply with the star, subject to radar vectors, so enable RNAV. So we're flying the Rauner 2 Alpha. It's at Rauner, intercepts the Alpha Mike November 258 inbound to the marker VOR, and then it's a right turn 160 radial to Quebec Alpha Alpha VOR. So this would be great for the Fearless 747. It's an non-RNAV arrival here, so it actually wouldn't be an issue. But we're expecting to fly sort of that initially, and then I'm actually instead of going from Marker to Queen Alia, I've just gone from this to an RNAV waypoint on the ILS, that one being Jordan. So if we'll check the FMC here, you'll see there's Rauner, Alpha Mike November. So as per this star, Rauner 110 above to Alpha Mike November, and then we're doing a right turn not to Quebec Alpha Alpha, but to the ILS RNAV point of Jordan. And Jordan's max 210 knots and 6,000 feet above that, checks in the FMC. So we'll go from there. Looking at the arrival again, MSA, oh no, that's the wrong airport. MSA 5,700 all the way around, and looking on the ILS chart, 5.7 as well. So from Jordan, we can go from 6,000 feet to Midru. Midru's at above 5,000 feet. I'll put 180 knots or below here. It's my operator's SOP for a waypoint with 10 miles on final. I think it's just inside of 10, isn't it? So put 180 knots or below. And then 4,500 is the mandatory platform altitude at 6.3 DME, and then it's onto the ILS. Make sure the glide path here, 3 degrees, especially if you're doing an RNAV approach, matches the chart. So you can see here 3 degrees on the chart, and then 3 degrees in the FMC. So top of the briefing strip, we've got the ILS frequency to tune, which is 1111, and I've not actually flown this approach fully. Does this have DME? I think this might not have any DME. The distances are based off the threshold. Okay, we'll have to see when we get there. I have not had time to do a full test sector. I know the scenery is there. 1111. It's active. Box 1 and 2. On standby, we can put the Queen Alia VOR 15.2, which is the east of the airport. So 15.2. So frequencies, courses, 256. 256, and the minimums for this approach: Cat 1 ILS 200 feet, AGLs 2,595 feet, so 2595. 2595, setting that now. Oops, went a little bit too far. 2595, and the QNH we're expecting is 1013, which I've preset on the PFD. Frequencies, courses, minimums are set. We're either going to do the transition via Jordan onto the ILS, or perhaps vectors. And once we're on the ILS, the platform's 4,500 feet. Seems quite high, but don't forget the elevation here is 2,400 feet. So we're only going to be around 2,000 feet above the ground at 6.3 miles. High elevation has a lot of threats, especially in the summer with hot temperatures. Your density altitude could be quite high. Just remember for your descent planning that you're at 2,400. So we might have heard me quote something called the 3-2-1 rule for approaches. It's sort of where you want to be on every approach. So 3-2-1 rule means 3,000 feet above the ground. You want to be doing around 200 knots with flap 1 selected at 10 miles. So that's the 3-2-1 rule. We sort of aim to do that on every approach. So bear in mind the elevation is 2,400. That means turning final, around a 10-mile final, we want to be around 5,400 feet. So we're a lot higher here. Just bear that in mind when you're on the approach. So frequencies, courses, minimums are set. The missed approach will be climbing on track to Alpha India 601, then a right turn, which is depicted up here, heading 317 to intercept a 272 radial from Quebec Alpha Alpha to Rezos, climbing to 5,000 feet, max 210 knots. So the missed approach, there we are, Alpha India 601, 317 Rezos, 5,000 feet, max 210 knots. It's all there, ladies and gentlemen. Fuel 4.2 tons for our alternate of Akbar. We needed 2.8, so we've got 3.8, about an extra 35-40 minutes of fuel. That's exactly 1 ton of fuel to burn. Landing weight 62.9. That's in the FMC. Let's look at the landing performance. So home it is under fuel balance, performance landing. So runway 26 right, dry, surface wind. I'll grab off my phone. It's 280 at 10 knots. Temperature is 22 degrees and the QNH is 1013. Landing weight was 62.9. Flat 30 we'll try. And let's have a look at the runway. So landing distance available. That's Jeppy charts, which I'm not used to. Wrong airport as well. There we are. So it's 3,664 metres beyond the threshold, and the ILS probably talking around 3,200. It's a nice long runway. We plan to vacate at Mike. I'd say that's around 2,600 metres tops there. So 2,600. Order brake 2 should be sufficient. Order brake 2 and vacate left at Mike, and then taxi on to stand, hopefully somewhere on the northern apron. I'll just get the taxi charts out ready for the information from ATC. So there we are, that's what we want. So vacating at Mike, we'll pin that one there. Perfect, I think I've covered everything. Flat 30, order brake 3, order brake 2, and then second detent reverse. There we go. Miranda, I have a question about the 737 MAX you flew. I might be able to answer that, Miranda. It depends what you ask. Stephen Jacobson, it's times like this I wish BA would employ Alpaca Airways staff. Oh, we're the best. What else did you say? Even folks just driving in to catch a stream whilst I'm stuck at Heathrow. I missed the chaos of BA system. Another BA system failure. Oh dear. I wonder what's happened there. They've had them in the past, though. Richard, if you and the crew are flying in and out of a country but don't leave the airport, do you still need a passport? Yes. Yes, just in case, for example, if we have a tech issue, we need to be offloaded, or for whatever operational reason, we need to leave, got to get to a hotel, out the airport. So we always have to carry our passports on us. Perfect. So, I think we covered everything. Let's do the descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization.
I probably won't use this for landing because it's not worked
Set
for me
anti-ice.
since X-Plane 12.
Off.
Approach
started.
briefing and fuel.
Discussed.
IAS and alt bugs.
Checked and set.
Descent checklist complete.
Excellent. That's all done. So we've got some traffic ahead, 20 miles. We should have ATC as we fly a little bit further east. That event starts, or started 25 minutes ago in Jordan. I can see a number of aircraft flying inbound, which is good, and centre is online. It's a shame they don't have more arrivals going in there. You'd hope that an airport like this would have a few more flights. There's a very busy event going on in VATSIM, Russia. So I probably won't be going there anytime soon with ongoing events. No offence to our friends over there, but just to be just non-controversial. Yeah, another VA system failure. Quite the expense of that boarding and baggage this time, apparently. Turfed a good few thousand passengers out the airport. Wow. Oopsie daisy. Do approach ref in the FMC set up in the cruise or later? We set it during the descent checks, whereas you can do it whenever you like, but usually during the descent, the briefing is done prior to top of descent. Miranda, what have you been taught in the simulator what to do with the MCAS misfires? Good question. So obviously the earlier generation of the MAX had software issues, and where potentially an erroneous MCAS activation would occur and keep occurring, and unfortunately that resulted in the loss of 2 aircraft. It's been extremely humiliating and expensive for Boeing to rectify. Rest assured that if you were to fly on a MAX tomorrow, what happened previously cannot happen again. There's inbuilt safety features to ensure that MCAS does what it was designed to do, which is to, in high angle of attack situations approaching stall, it assists with pitching the nose down. So if it was, let's say, for whatever reason, to activate erroneously, one of the systems it's done is it takes a snapshot which it activates. It will never trim more than, I think it's 2 or 3 units. So you'll always maintain and have positive pitch control, and it can be properly deactivated with the stab trim cutter switches. So yeah, it's a lot of that information online. I feel confident flying the aircraft. It's obviously what happened should never ever have happened, but the Max is now one of the safest commercial jet airliners flying today. Perfect. So yeah, hopefully we'll fly a lot of this arrival in VNAV, see how the aircraft behaves, but so far so good. There's been noticeable improvements in autopilot behaviour primarily. That was really, really smooth. I mean, I can go through the full list of what ZIBO's fixed. Let me just find the dates here. ZIBO, there we go. So I'll just go through the last sort of 5 or 6 updates. So since I last flew it, bugs fixed in VNAV descent, reverses, corrected autopilot logic, speed brake effectivity. So I did discuss briefly with ZIBO after our last stream. The ZIBO speed brake is creating too much drag at the moment, so we'll have a little look at that on descent. Hopefully that's been rectified. It's about twice as much drag, or the rate of descent was twice as what I'd expect it to be for 250 knots for speed brake. Brand new auto slat system, optimised code for reverse thrust. New auto slat system. So auto slats work by extending when you have flaps. Let me get this right. 1 through to 5, or 1 through to 10. And when they're not fully extended, this will fully extend them if you get into a stall situation using hydraulic system A pressure to B. Corrected VNAV system, fixed VNAV, lock throttle feature, fixed corrected VS and level change. So VS just needs to be a little slower, but here it says you can begin climb when MCP altitude is lower as current altitude, similar for descent in real plane, now matching real plane behaviour. Very good. And I think we noticed that in level change. VS was a little aggressive though. Fixed VNAV, wow, loads of bug fixing. Fixed VNAV, FMC VNAV speeds have been fixed as well, so I'll let ZIBO know about that last stream. So hopefully the speeds are now purely based off the correct cost index and cost index only. AFDS protection has been updated. Yeah, loads of stuff that's been fixed there. Alex van der Pas, you usually post the Discord channel. You do, I know you've been doing it there. Shutdown, Captain, what classic jets would you love to fly if you could get your hands on them in real life? I'd love to have a go on the 200, the 73-200. I flew with captains in the past who used to fly it, and they said it was like a brick house. You know, you could fly out the Barber's pole everywhere, and it was absolutely fine. It could take a lot of punishment. I'd love to have a go with those GT8Ds. Sort of, what are the classic commercial jetliners? The BAC 111, I've not flown one of those in the stream, but I do sort of like them. They had the same engine, didn't they? 7.2, I'd love to fly loads of them. Nizam, does the Max and NG have big differences in terms of handling during flights? No, they feel very similar, even though the engines are significantly larger, and there have been adaptations. In a way, it's easier. We don't know why. For people I've spoken to, we don't know. Taking off and landing seems to be easier to judge. So you can you typically check at around 20 to 30 feet, and you alter that based off your rate of descent, lots of different factors. It just seems to be easier to judge, or you can seem to get the Max what you want it to do. The NG does the same, but it's quite unforgiving if you're not at the correct speed. So if you're at VREF or you're a bit slow on your approach speed, and you flare, it can sometimes just rotate around its axis and not really reduce its rate of descent. You end up doing quite a firm landing, but actual general handling is pretty good. So you can see it's turning quite steeply here at 35,000 feet. 30 degrees is not what I'd expect. It doesn't respect the bank angle, remember. The bank angle's only in heading select. LNAV has its own inbuilt protection, but it's probably a little excessive there. But it will happily bank up to 15, 20, you know, sometimes 25 degrees in the cruise if there's sufficient manoeuvre margin. Oh, Spey engines, yeah, Rolls Royces, weren't they, Tim? The thing is, aircraft in those days were nowhere near as reliable as aircraft today, such as, you know, it's primarily the engines. You know, engines on like the 707, the Comet. It wasn't uncommon to have engine failures, whereas, well, I've never had an engine failure, and I have known a couple of colleagues have had them, but, you know, most have never had. So yeah, that's the problem there. So yeah, let's slightly overshot that turn there, only ever so slightly. You can see, look, it's just getting onto that airway, I think, November 134, or maybe not, but it's sort of just done a little loop. Overshot it slightly, it's sort of correcting itself now. Land ahoy, yes. Dead ahead. Let me get my map out. Is that Israel? Yes, Tel Aviv is straight ahead. Let me get my map out. There we are, we'll be flying pretty much straight over Israel, Tel Aviv. No ATC yet. Cybersea inferior, if your airline had 732, would you be allowed to fly it to the initial training with the type ratings and certifications you have? No, the 732 has a separate rating. My type rating is from 737-300 to the max, and all the variants in between, and if we were to even fly the 300 or 400, we'd have to do some sort of differences course. It wouldn't take long, same as we had to do for the max to fly Classic. Brilliant, Pete. Right, top descent in 10 miles, so let's have a look at that chart again. So we're inbound to Arauna as we speak. The minimum descent altitude is 11,000 feet, so until we get cleared by ATC, we'll preset 11,000. So VNAV will commence descent automatically. Vlad, hi, could we use some of the alternate fuel in case of a very long delay due to traffic at destination Cabo OK, or we have to go to the alternate airport? That is an excellent question. Anyone in chat would like to answer it for him? We've discussed that before, actually. So let's imagine we're flying to the airport where it's absolutely perfect, but we're having to hold a long time. We're approaching our alternate fuel at level, reserve fuel. What can we do? Do we have to divert to alternates, or is there any other options available? Good question. See if anyone can answer in chat. There you are, top descent in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch how the mod behaves. We also have ATC as well. Let's just see, we've got the correct descent speeds finally in the mod. Costed X30, 273 knots. I'll contact ATC. 128.5. Jordan Centre, hello, it's Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. We're descending to 11,000 feet inbound to Arauna.
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, good evening, command control. Descent to please 11,000 feet, level by Salam, expected at the vectoring goddess approach, 26 left, QNH Amman 1013.
26 left. Descend 11,000 feet and just confirm the point level by, and QNH 1013, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. Salam.
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, the point is Salam, Sierra Alpha Lima Alpha Mike.
We'll be level 11,000 by Salam, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. I think that's actually on my operator's airfield briefing, but obviously we're not routing towards that there. Normally direct routing to Salam to be level at 11,000 feet. Well, that's realistic. So we're going to put in Salam manually. And what I'll do, I'll join it to Arauna, execute, and we need to be level at 11,000 feet. Whee! Execute. Well, just to show you ZIBO mod, it is behaving quite nicely on profile, but now we're going to be 9,000 feet high. 7,600. It's gone to VNAV speed, which is correct. Let's go to 300 knots. We're going to extend the speed brake. That should help with the profile. and that. So here in Jordan, they get you nice and low, nice and early.
Turn left heading 1.
We need to plan for 26 left. So that's much better. I've got speed brake with 300 knots. Ooh. It should be a little more than that, so I think speed brake might not be as effective now. Right, that's all in. I've got to answer that question as well. Let me just finish setting up for 26 left here.
Good evening, Easy 8 Golf, flight level
So, get rid of that chart.
Easy 8 Golf, good evening, proceed direct to Sanaa. Descend 11,000 feet, Mannequin H1013.
So speed brake, 320 knots. We're in VNAV speed, which is what I want. I'm going to probably struggle with this restriction. I can't do more than 320 with speed brake. It's probably not quite effective enough there. Right, ILS 26 left.
Confirm you're able to maintain 11,000 feet by Sanaa.
Stand by, we're giving our best rate of descent Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. We'll have a look here. So let it get stabilised. Yeah, unable to make that restriction. Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. We'll be passing Salam at around 15,000.
No problem, thank you. Continue the speed now 250. Traffic ahead is descending to 11,017 miles.
Reduce to 250 knots and we'll keep a good rate of descent Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. Perfect. So that's set to make that restriction. To be fair, it did actually say that in the airfield briefing. Left engine. Ah! What is going on? What on earth is going on? That might be why we're not descending so quickly. I might have noticed that in real life. What happened there? Well, water throttle's on arm, I suppose. Yeah, it's probably noticed it was still there. Oh, good job to the autopilot. Autopilot should have disconnected with that mustard symmetry, shouldn't it? It's ZIBO bug, correct, Lauren. Right, let me just get the ILS set up here. 1109. 10.9. So 10.9. The minimums of this approach for Cat 1 is 2566. So frequency courses minimums are the same. Straight onto the ILS for this is for 26 left. And
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike after Salam, descend correction, after Salam fly heading 145.
After Salam heading 145 degrees, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. So we're going to get vectored off to the other side, I think. 145. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Speed brake. Okay, the speed brake is actually fine. I've got speed brake here out 250 knots, doing 2,400 feet. That's pretty much what I'd expect. So pretty much happy with that. Yeah, I've thruster symmetry. Now, to be fair to ZIBO, there should have been a bug. Look, this should disconnect the autothrottle. That should disconnect the autothrottle. But the autopilot at this level, where the amount of thrust being produced from the engine is a lot less. Heading select is a lot less. You won't have as much asymmetry because the engine's producing less thrust. So if you had one at 80 and one at 40, you'd have very little asymmetry. And obviously, if you're at 2,000 feet. If you're at 2,000 feet, that's going to make a big difference because the amount of thrust being produced is huge. Right, so the missed approach now is climb straight ahead runway heading to 5,000 feet, left turn to the VOR, contact ATC, and then landing performance. Having a quick look on 26 left. This time we'll keep it the same, except we'll vacate at Charlie or Delta. There we are. Right, we've covered that. Now you see we're getting on a heading. Now this isn't unrealistic. We'll still keep the speed brake out here as well. Actually, no, we'll stow it because we're no longer going to Slam. We just need to update the FMC when we get a bit more of an understanding of where we're going. So make sure you're out of VNAV when you're not on the magenta line. So going back to the question I asked about 5 minutes ago, in there, where the workload pretty much trebled. Can you do you have to divert when you have minimum fuel then? You don't, okay? So if you have a degree of certainty that you can land at your destination, for example, there's 2 runways available if you in an emergency, or you've been given an estimated approach time from your approach controller, you can decide to allocate your alternate reserve fuel to continue holding to be able to land at your destination. And that's called diverting to your destination, but you have to have certainty of landing and an estimated approach time to ensure that you can land at a time without getting into any sort of low fuel situation. Now obviously if the situation then changes and you could definitely not land there, you know, you've reduced your options available. You might have to consider doing a minimum fuel call, even a mayday call, but you could argue, yeah, but maybe if you divert, why don't you divert? But if you divert, the same could happen at that airport you're diverting to. You know, you can't dream of every single situation there. Is auto throttle lock on in the EFB? No, I guess not, seeing I can still move it, but I am in arm, which is as per the real aircraft.
Thank you, maintain 10,000 to the south.
Right, let me just route direct to the centre fix. There we are. So that picture is actually quite realistic because it's trying to curve round here, but at the moment we're not cleared or routed or clear to route on that magenta line yet, or onto the routing, so we're just updating that to keep the FMC up to date. And I'll just put my fixings in for 26 left as well.
Guided by 1643, turn left heading 080.
There we are. That'll increase our situation awareness on the approach. 15,000, yeah, that looks good here. We'll put the seatbelt sign on because we're only 12,000 feet above the ground. And it's very hazy here, but you can see all that beautiful Ortho 4XP and the well, maybe we're still over Israel here, but maybe not quite. Maybe Jordan's coming in here, but looking very desert-like down there. Oops, forgot to set the QNH 1013. So what I could do, just to tidy up the FMC, I'll route direct to the centre fix. 7,000 feet, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. So 7,000 feet is set. Now what I'm going to do is make a waypoint to the south. So if I put this here, the runway QDM is 256. So to the south would be 166. So 166/4. What this will do, I'll create a waypoint just to the off here and execute that. And now I've got something that's a little bit more replicating what our actual path's going to be like. But yeah, certainly speed brake.
Crossing 10,000 feet, speed 210 knots.
Passing 10,000 feet will reduce speed to 210 knots. Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. So what we can do here, tell the FMC that's below 10,000 feet we'd like to do 210 knots, execute that, and it'll plan a decel point accordingly. Should be showing more waypoints here. I can't see any there. I was looking for a waypoint to select there, but I can just update the FMC anyway to CF201. There we are. So we're slowly getting back onto our VNAV profile. VNAV has definitely improved in the mod. It seems to be dealing with these continuous updates. Left heading 080 degrees, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. 080. Yeah, big improvements in the mod. So we've only got 10,000 feet to go because of the elevation. I'll do the post-cruise checks now. So fuel, 4 pumps, lights are on. Angular banks 25, pressurization 3.0, decreasing sets. Recall checks complete. Oh, look at that. So I'm going to go back into VNAV, VNAV path, so that's as per the real aircraft, close the speed window, and now VNAV's going to command an idle path descent. It's just going back to the FMC speed, and it should also command a deceleration to 210 knots at 10,000 feet, which I think it's doing now. Retard, ZIBO has made big improvements here. Really nice to see. I do keep forgetting about... I do keep forgetting about my nice new rotary switches, Listerman. So post-cruise checks complete. Remember the elevations. being taken into account, and it's decelerating to 210 knots at 10,000. This is working beautifully.
You are number 3 for the approach.
It's very hazy here. The active sky seems to be plugging in the correct weather. 5,000 meters in haze, with winds coming from the west. This is excellent work, ZIBO. Well done. If you're watching, because I know you said you were going to tune in for a bit of it.
Good evening. Continue Carrick, Odina, Nisa.
So now this is an idle path descent based off 210 knots. You can see, look, the throttle's completely closed. Raven, learning a lot, thanks, excellent. Well, this is what this is all about. So if you're new to the 737, maybe you fly the mod, maybe you fly the PMDG, maybe you fly an alternate 737 that even I don't know about. But, yeah, it's fine. Now, Downfo, I've seen Active Sky, got to pay for it again, crazy. Unfortunately, you missed out the opportunity to actually upgrade for free. So, Active Sky, for a number of weeks now, offered a free upgrade to everyone that had Active Sky for X-Plane 11, so long as you downloaded it prior to a date. So I didn't pay for it. 10 5,000 feet, QNH 1013, Alpaca 250 Mike. I don't even beta thought that was it. I don't know. Yeah, credit to ZIBO. This is doing a superb job. As I update this, it'll slightly put us high. The real aircraft can't update it quite as quick as this. It's a bit slower. But doing a really good job here.
Continue to maintain 6,000. Continue down to 6,000, Jet Golf.
Harry Dodson, please can you share your control settings of the ZIBO and Thrustmaster yoke? It's, I think, all on the default settings. All on the default settings. This is excellent by the mod. Really good. Let's just see if it spits us out high or low on the ILS. And this is what we do in the 737 under vectors. This is why it confuses me every time I fly the Airbus, because the Airbus you have to constantly update the routing under vectors to ensure you've got an accurate vertical profile. So 8,000 feet seems high, but don't forget the elevation here. Yeah, guys, if you want to switch or been delaying switching to X-Plane 12 or updating the mod, this is excellent.
Turn left heading 350. Descend 4,600 feet, best rate.
Send 4,600 feet, left turn heading 350 degrees, Alpaca 250. I keep forgetting about my, yes, Ramplampan, I see your membership, thank you very much, and he's the one who did the fix here. Now we're going to be high here, look, we're getting a big shortcut. Roger, Alpaca 250, like, we're getting a big shortcut here, so I'm going to route direct to Quebec Alpha Alpha. Look at that, 700 feet high, so we can leave it in VNAV, and go speed into vent. Flap 1 we have, straight to flap 5. Just want to see where flap 5 and how the automation behaves here. So I've bugged 188 knots. Oh, it's in VNAV path because I'm on approach logic. Excellent work, ZIBO. Let's go level change. It's going to die for the profile, but that's fine. So I'm going to bug the flap 5 speed in level change. And the behaviour of level change here is excellent. The way the aircraft's pitching up now. Ooh, very nice. Oh, it's excellent. It does this. It just sort of pitches up, not quite levels off, and it sort of settles down. This is the... Honestly, I've been flying the ZIBO mod for a very, very long time. And I've flown the PMDG. The way the autopilot is behaving in level change and VNAV is absolutely superb. Really, really, really good. The way the pitch is changing there to react to what my manipulation of the MCP. It's really nice. Really, really, really good. And this is a significant update here in the mod. Really nice. The VNAV is showing me what I'd expect. 600 feet high, the glide slope's coming in. The approach check, sorry, India Quebec Alpha. Just quickly check the ident on the ILS. India Quebec Alpha, 10 miles. This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. This is the best.
Alpaca 250 mark able to make 4,600 by establishing.
Oh, sorry, is that a mandatory height? I was doing a CDA Alpaca 250 Mike, unable that waypoint.
Okay, turn right heading 160.
We could do straight in if we could take a left turn onto the final Alpaca 250 Mike. Perfect for that.
That's the localizer by 1,000 feet, Alpaca 250 Mike.
We'll go Alpaca 250 Mike. What? What clearance is this? I don't know what he wants! So just to confirm Alpaca 250 Mike, can we turn on to the localizer?
Yes, heading 300 to establish, 290 to establish.
Thank you very much. Heading 300 and we'll call established Alpaca 250 Mike. I thought it was a bit unusual.
Alpaca 250 Mike, 290 to establish.
Sorry, say again Alpaca 250 Mike.
Heading 290 to establish.
290 to establish, thank you, Alpaca 250 Mike. Right, approach, flat 5, vertical speed, excellent. I was very, very confused with what was wanted there. Right, armoured approach, localizer, live localizer capture, glide slope VS, and we're now established on the localizer. We can set elevation plus 1,000, so 100 to 2,500. So operator SOP, and with armed approach. Alpaca 250 Mike is localised, established, and 26 left. Thank you for that.
No problem. Thanks for the rated descent. Continue minimum speed, 119.8.
Tower 119.8, we'll go Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. Thanks for the ATC, sir. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Perfect. So we're on to tower. Minimum approach speed. We're approaching 7 miles now. Yeah, just excellent. The mod really, really nice with everything I've seen there. My workload's been quite high. I need to do a bit more testing with this version, but this is the best version I've ever seen in X-Plane 12 by far. And I dare I say it? Is it there to the X-Plane 11 version? Pretty much. Excellent work to our man ZIBO. Superb. I will be posting about this after the stream on my socials. Right, localizer glide slope capture, missed approach altitude 5,000 feet. Tower, hello, it's Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike established, ILS 26 left at 6 miles.
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, Green Tower, low, wind is 280, 10, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. So I'm not going to do the checklist today because it is a big bug. So gear down, flat 15, match speed, start switches, continuous, recall checked, speed brake, armed green light, landing gear, down 3 green. It's exactly the same speed as the real aircraft. Auto brake is set to 2, flap to 30, match speed. This is wonderful, everyone. Well done, ZIBO. So flaps checked, 30 green light, lights are on, checks complete. This is the best flight I've had in any virtual 737 with regards to realism in a very, very long time, and I genuinely mean that. Oh, unfortunately my auto throttle disconnect button's not working. Oh, I know why, because I don't think I've updated it. Right, auto throttle disconnected. My autopilot disconnects. I need to update all the buttons on this, I think, because I reset it with Rumplumpan's fix here. We just need active sky just to sort of sort itself out. Well, it's a bit hazy, isn't it? So, clear to land. Oh, I've got a look there. I just don't like active skies. Injection of the wind in here at the moment. It's 10 knot winds and it's very sort of feels very unstable, the weather. Right, do not land on the road. Flight director behaviours very nice. Watch that rate of descent a little high. Runway's coming into view. Checked. 5k of is here. Sort of having to make lots of inputs here. It's just the wind in the sim sort of jumping up and down, making lots of inputs on the aircraft. It feels like I'm flying in 25 knot winds. Checked. Getting high now.
200.
Checked.
Minimum.
Continue. I might not be using active sky again for a while, guys. I don't like how it's making the plane behave.
Tower, good evening, EVA Golf 2 left.
Bit high here.
Golf, good evening,
Check.
Yeah.
Very nice.
One check 280.
The handling is great. Oh, a bit off centre line though. Come on. I can't butter for the love of me. Speed breaks up. Drifting downwind. And I've just got idle reverse on at the moment. Perfect. There's the exit I was planning. Charlie. Oh, going a little bit fast for that. 100 knots. 80. Manual braking. And 60 knots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amman. Excellent. Just used idle reverse today. Stowing the reverse.
Locate next right Delta and contact ground 121.9. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Next right Delta, ground 121.9. Now back at 25 Zulu Mike. Bye. Excellent. Over to ground then. 121.9. Excellent work. Yeah, active sky. Ever since I've changed it, I just don't like what it's doing to the aircraft there. The way the aircraft was moving, it was sort of like it was in 25 knot plus winds, and it's calm. And it did that on the group flight at the weekend. So yeah, I think I'll just revert to default X-Plane 12 weather until there's been a fix for that, because it's not bad in X-Plane 12. Right, anyway, better contact ground. Amman ground, hello, it's Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, just vacated 26 left at Delta.
Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike, welcome to Amman. Taxi to get Sierra 16 via Delta and Echo.
Sierra 16 via Delta and Echo Alpaca 25 Zulu Mike. So Sierra 16 straight ahead, Echo. And oh, look at that! It's like I messaged him before the stream saying, "Please, after landing, give me a stand where I can't get lost," which can happen. Excellent. Right, we'll do the cleanup now. But as the ZIBO mod goes, an absolute pleasure to fly today. Really, really good. Get it, guys. Get it. He's clearly in the last week and sat down and gone, right, what can I get fixed on the mod here? What's people reporting that's gone wrong? And it was absolutely superb. I think it's worthwhile dropping him a message, guys, saying, oh, thank you so much for keeping the mod up to date in X-Plane 12, because that was an absolute pleasure. Really, really good. And the way I was manipulating the automation on final and the way the aircraft was behaving was really, really nice to see. Just excellent. Right, we'll start the APU. Turn off the probe heats. Just a lovely little short flight today. I would do a 2-sector one, but it's a little later than planned. This is just default scenery, guys. Thank you. I think it was 0321 short for the tile, the ortho tile for this airport as well. How we fixed it because it wasn't working in Bing for me. Excellent. We'll bring it to a stop about here. Yeah, everything about the mod today was absolutely superb. The only thing was the vertical speed behaviour, and there was a bit of noise on my throttle, which is why we had huge asymmetry on the initial part of the descent, which I didn't notice, but it's as you'd expect. There's very little thrust produced from the engine at higher level. The only thing was the autothrottle should disconnect with that much difference between the thrust levers. Right, rest to out of 2000 standby. Trim 6 units, that's fine. Auto brake to off. Should be to 4. Flight directors off 5100. This 200. AP's available on the bus, and we've got 2 blues, reds, engines dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jordan Amman for the first ever time on a live stream. Drive, transit. Then so open 2000 standby, and then the anti-collision light can come off, and we get to 20% N2. Now the parking again. I would never park as well as I did last time. No, I don't know which line I need to be here, but last live stream in the well, no, not last live stream, but in the PMDG 737, I absolutely nailed the parking. Oops, flaps aren't quite up. I didn't spam the up button enough. N2 is below 20%. There we are. Check's complete. Yeah, absolute pleasure to fly the mod today. Really, really nice. Yeah, Sim's doing well. Really, really nice to see. Let's have a little look here in chat then. Scottish, close enough, it'll do. Base Leg Bob says, help me, Jim. Unbelievable. Great stream, cheers. Thanks, Liam Barwick. Thank you very much for popping in. Taxi Stand 404. Someone paid cash for their gate spot. Absolutely, KT, yeah. Direct transfer. T155490. Yeah, it was a bit of a float there. The active sky, yeah, it's not working in the way I like it at all. And it did that in the last X-Plane stream in the ZIBO mod for the group flight. It's just throwing the aeroplane around a lot, and where it shouldn't be. It's 10 knot winds here, so maybe I will not use it next stream. Just go back to default X-Plane 12 weather, which isn't bad. It's a lot better than it was in X-Plane 11. But until they fix that, I think I'll just hold off for now. Katie says, I have X-Plane 12, just haven't flown it for a long time. I'll give it a try. Yeah, grab the latest version of the mod. This version here, once it's out, 6.13. I hope X-Plane 12 will fix the blurry graphics. Yes, the graphics I know are near as good as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but they are tweaking and improving it over time. ZIBO is the Paul McCartney of the flight sim world. Brilliant. I think it was pretty much it there. ZIBO giveaway, brilliant. Yeah, guys, really the best 737 I've flown virtually for a long time. Oh, there was our friend in the EasyJet just coming in to stand behind. And I genuinely saying that it just was. The autopilot behaviour was absolutely fantastic. Really, really nice to see the way the aircraft pitched. And I mean primarily in pitch there, as we were sort of pitching up and down and just seeing how the aircraft was behaving in pitch was wonderful. Best I've seen it ever in any version of the ZIBO mod. So superb to see. The VNAV behaviour was great as well for the entire approach. We were really spamming it. We were updating descent speeds, restrictions, updating the FMC, and the profile. It looked like I was getting vectored in the end. It looked like it was going to put me straight on the ILS. So really nice to see. Grab this version and step to date with the ZIBO mod, because it is now behaving brilliantly. There's so many things that are a positive for this aircraft. The handling, the FMC logic behaviour, how it's displayed. Oh, I'm really excited to fly it and see how it develops further in X-Plane 12. Anyway, we'll call it a day. That was a great little VATSIM event. Thank you to everyone with the ATC. I just got a message from Senta saying thank you very much for flying, and I'm just going to message him back. Yeah, I didn't publicise this on social media this stream, or the community page. Just published it. I don't always post on social medias. I do most of the time about streams, but sometimes I just go live and post it on YouTube. But best way to step to date, as I said, is to subscribe, turn on the bell icon. Thanks to the great ETC buddy. I'm just messaging him. Cool. So I'll log off of VATSIM. Thanks to everyone that joined in on the sectors. A couple of guys joining in. I hope if you do want to fly to Jordan, enjoy the ATC that they're offering today. Right, let's logged off. I've done that. I'm just doing pro streamer stuff here. Fly live I can disable, and I will now cue the funky replay music. Let's hope the replay works. It is a bit buggy in the sim at the moment. It does crash sometimes. Right, that's on. Alt R. Start pressing rewind, and you can drag it once you've got it in this mode. Yes, I think we're in business. Right, yeah. I was sort of not fighting the aircraft there, but for 10 knot winds I was having to make a lot of inputs with the weather that Active Sky was injecting, and it was 10 knot winds. So something was a bit off with Active Sky there, and in the beta version I wasn't getting that. It's only the release candidates have had this. Right, let's have a look at this. So good. Oh, that wasn't so good. I got blown downwind, look. Oh, the runway was downslope, give me that. Oh, I sort of corrected on the centre line, but regardless of my wacky inputs in the Active Sky weather, just look at the aircraft behaviour in the flare. Oh yeah, ballooned, look. But it's good, and X-Plane does have a bit of a exaggerated ground effect. Good excuse anyway. Yeah, the replay's a bit buggy, I think. It does a little glitch there. Ballooned a bit, look. That's nice and quiet with the idle reverse, as it would be. Just do one more from this side. Yeah, you can see, look, it does a little hiccup there, look, the replay. Just the behaviour of the aircraft and the flare is really nice in this sim. You can sort of see it hitting the ground effect, look. There, look. Would usually... Sorry, 'cause it's very loud. Usually it would just go straight through that. There's a bit of ground effect, but it's like you're hitting a big cushion of air in this sim. You can see it, like it's like, oof, it's like an invisible wall. Yeah, really nice. This is one of the reasons I love this sim. It's just takeoff and landing. The physics are just phenomenal. Apart from the ground effect there, but excellent work. Right then, let's pop you in for a wing view so you can enjoy the approach from the perspective of passenger, row 17. What would that be? 17F. And I'll turn down the sim slightly as we sign out. Yeah, so as I was already saying on stand, guys, this version of the mod is a real triumph, and I hadn't completed the full test flight in this because it was updated 15 minutes before the stream, and it is the best version of the ZIBO mod by far. Need I say it's the best version of the ZIBO mod in X-Plane 12 and 11 as a tall order, but it's there now in X-Plane 12. So for me now, I'm very glad I've uninstalled X-Plane 11, not used that version of the mod which hasn't been updated. Look, you've got the little vortices coming off here. Yeah, absolutely wonderful to fly. And I'd say now, with regards to handling and aircraft behaviour there on final, it surpassed the PMDG in a lot of ways there today. There's things the PMDG does better as well, like the sound, sounds and the textures obviously are really nice. It looks great in Microsoft Flight Sim, but I just really like that. And had Active Sky not been messing around with the weather, it would have been excellent. The only thing I could really spot from that test flight was the behaviour in vertical speed. And when we dialed in a vertical speed, the rate of change onto that vertical speed was a little excessive. And then obviously under descent earlier with the thrust up, there was something that I obviously forgot to go idle, and I don't usually do that, but it should obviously be an idle. It dealt with that fine as well. So yeah, really nice. The autothrottle should have disconnected. That was the only thing that was different. So guys, get this version. Really nice as well. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed a little impromptu stream in the ZIBO mod, though. I'll post to my socials about this because it is an excellent update, and I'm so enthusiastic about it. I really want to fly it again. But yeah, it's completely free to download the ZIBO mods. You can always send a gesture to ZIBO for all his hard work. He's been working for years now on this project for free, and I know he'd appreciate that as well. But that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe as well to stay up to date with the content. And to all the members, thank you for your continued support as well. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you all again live very soon. Bye.